In this video, I'm going to do a full comparison of the 7 best digital signage software solutions out there right now. Now, we've been building digital signage software for over 30 years. And on a daily basis, we're talking to organizations and evaluating every software on this list. So we know the pros and cons of each and every one. With that said, I'm about to go over each one. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one will fit best for your organization when it comes to your budget and the size of your company. Number 1 on the list is Rise Vision. And full disclosure, it's the digital signage software that we built, so we're a little bit biased. But look, most organizations end up buying digital signage from one company, screen sharing from another company, and emergency alerts from a third. So you're managing 3 different logins, 3 different contracts, and 3 different renewal dates when you really just have one screen on the wall. Having all 3 of those in one system is great because you can have one person managing your lobby display and another person sending out emergency alerts to your organization, and they can be working in the same place. It can also run on the screens and the media players that you already own. Rise Vision can play on Windows machines, Android devices, Chrome OS, Apple TV, and Amazon signage sticks. So no one has to sign off on getting new hardware. And if your internet goes down, the screens keep playing whatever was in your schedule. That way, it's not just black screens everywhere until the power comes back on. Also, whoever updates the content on your screen doesn't need to be on the IT team, since we have over 750 ready-made templates to choose from. So the person who's actually responsible for the content on the screens can change it themselves without having to put a ticket in. Now, the emergency alerts are the part that most organizations end up needing. It connects to the alert systems that organizations already use, such as Crisis Go, Alertus, Informacast, and more. So when somebody triggers a weather alert or an emergency warning, the alert takes over every screen in the building, and nobody has to log in and send it themselves. For example, one of our customers is a manufacturer, and their health and safety manager was spending 5 hours a month writing updates on the whiteboards on their factory floor. Those same updates now take 15 to 20 minutes. And one of the school districts that we work with runs more than 100 displays without adding a single person to their IT team. When it comes to pricing, it starts at $11 per display per month for schools and $12 for everyone else. That gets you the templates, the scheduling, and unlimited users. Emergency alerts and the Google and Microsoft integrations are the next tier up at $13 and $14 per display. And if you're a school running a lot of displays, you can take advantage of our unlimited license at just $13.99 per school site per year, no matter how many displays you have. One thing that does cost extra is the interactive touchscreen templates, and those are billed separately each year. But on the regular displays, the price comes down as you add more, with discounts once you're running 11, 70, and 200 displays. So if you're interested in Rise Vision, I'll leave a link in the description where you can book a demo with us. Anyway, let's get to number 2. Number 2 is Screen Cloud. This is for the kind of office that already does everything through Slack and Microsoft Teams. It has more than 80 app integrations. So a screen can pull a channel from Teams, a deck from Google Slides, or a live dashboard, and keep it updated without anyone having to reload anything. There's also a design tool called Canvas, which is built into the browser. So whoever writes an announcement can do so without opening another app. But I will say, adding screens is where it can get expensive. It starts at $20 per screen per month, and the tier with the better integrations and analytics is $30. At 10 screens, that's fine, but at 60 or 70, you're paying more per screen than anything else on the list. The template library is also smaller, and that leaves whoever writes the announcements with fewer designs to start from. So more of that work goes to someone who can actually design. The bottom line, if your team wants a lot of control over the way things look, keep that in mind before you go with Screen Cloud or Yodeck. At number 3 is Yodeck, and one screen is free permanently with the templates and support included. After that, it's $8 per screen on an annual plan, which is one of the lowest prices on the list. So this is the cheapest way to get one screen and prove it works before you ask for budget. They also send you the media player for free on the annual plan. It's a Raspberry Pi, which is a small, cheap computer about the size of a deck of cards that plugs into the back of your display. So that allows you to get your first displays running without buying any hardware. Once you're running multiple buildings though, Yodeck Yodeck isn't the best fit. That's because the controls for who can post to each screen only show up on the higher tiers. And that means one person usually manages all the displays for the entire building. So every announcement has to go through them no matter what side it's for. Number 4 on the list is OptiSigns, and I'd rank it between ScreenCloud and Yodeck on the price. This is the one for the building where every screen is running on a different hardware. It works on Android, Windows, Chrome OS, Raspberry Pi, and the Amazon Signage Stick. So a mix of old and new hardware can all show the same content, which is nice. You also get 3 screens free, though OptiSigns will put their branding on your content. Now, I will give credit to the design tools because they're actually better than you would expect at this price. There's a drag and drop editor built in, plus multi-zone layouts so that you can have a video, a newsfeed, and your announcements all playing at the same time. Where you do have to pay attention with OptiSigns is which plan the emergency alerts come in. Paid plans start at $9 per screen per month, but the emergency alerts only turn on from the $13.50 tier and up. So if I were you, I would price it from that tier and not the entry one. Otherwise, you'll budget for $9 per screen and quickly realize that you need to be on the $13.50 plan after everything is installed. The scheduling also gets complicated once every screen is running its own content at different times of day. So that part usually ends up as your IT team's job. Moving on to number 5, which is telemetry TV, and it's built for a much bigger setup than anything we've talked about so far. Think distribution centers, warehouses, and companies running screens in buildings that nobody goes to with a laptop. The problem is that when one of those screens freezes or something else goes wrong, somebody has to drive out to that site just to restart it. So what Telemetry TV did, they built their own software to run the screens. And because it does nothing except signage, there's a lot less on there that can break. On top of that, you can get a new site running without having to send your IT team out. Somebody can plug in a new screen at a new site and it connects on its own and starts showing the content that location is supposed to be showing. It also pulls live data onto the screens. So warehouse teams can see order numbers and metrics updating throughout the day. But there are a few things to know before going with Telemetry TV. It starts at $8 a device a month, but the automatic setup that I just mentioned and the controls for who can post to which screens are both on the $13 plan. Most companies running more than a couple of displays end up there or even on the $16 tier. And that one is annual only with a 10 device minimum. Aside from that, the enterprise tier has a 100 device minimum. So if you're running devices in only 1 or 2 buildings, Telemetry TV is way more than you need because most of what you're paying for is just the multi-site management. Coming in at number 6 is KitCast. And this one is for anyone who already has their devices running on Apple TV. KitCast has a native Apple TV app that's been in the App Store since 2015, and so it's been built for Apple hardware from the start. Recently, though, they've added Android TV and the main smart TV brands, so different kinds of screens still work with it. It's also one of the cheapest options here. Starter is $7 a screen per month billed annually. And for $10, the Pro plan adds emergency alerts, Microsoft and Google integrations, and lets your staff log in with their work emails they already have, so there's no managing another password. Content is stored on the device too, so they can keep playing content even if the internet goes down. What you will give up with KitCast though is the template library. It doesn't come with many ready-made designs, so whoever is making your announcements is starting from scratch every time. That takes a lot longer than updating a design that's already there, and when every update is that much work, many people will just leave it on old content. Last on the list is Zebo, and it works differently than everything else on the list. The software that runs everything is open source, which means the code is public and free. And you can install it on your own servers and not have to pay another company to host it. The appeal is mainly for an IT team who wants everything inside their own network with no per-screen license. There's also a full set of APIs, so a developer can connect it to the other systems you already run. Players keep their own copy of the content as well, just like KitCast, so a server outage on your end doesn't stop what's on the screens. But the main cost with Zebo is your IT team's time. If you host it yourself, your team has to run the server, do the updates, and fix any problems that come up. The interface is built for technical users and there isn't much of a template library. So the person who updates your screens will most likely need IT's help to do it. There's also no built-in emergency alert integration. So if alerts are part of why you're buying, you probably shouldn't go with Zevo. Now, if you want something that runs on the screens that you already have and that your staff can update without having to call IT and that has emergency alerts built in, I'd recommend Rise Vision. And you can book a demo by clicking the first link in the description. On the demo, we'll show you exactly how it can run on the hardware that you already own, and you'd be joining more than 12,300 organizations already using it, with a support team that gets back to you within under an hour. So again, if you want to book a demo with Rise Vision, just click the link in the description. And once you pick your platform, you're going to need to get your budget for it approved. So if you haven't done that yet, check out our next video.